Welcome to the Raise podcast. I'm Carol Barwick. We're here to raise your confidence and inspire your creativity. Each episode, we will have a different guest who will be discussing our Raise word. The Raise word is a word that will encourage you or empower you and at times inspire you to explore the word a little more for yourself. Well, hello and welcome to A Cuppa with Carol. I'm Carol Barwick. The word that we're going to look at is the word stable. I wonder what the word stable means to you. Nearly always on this podcast, I end with a poem, but I'm going to start with a poem today, a poem that I've written. And then we're going to end with a poem that somebody else has written. And I hope that by topping and tailing it in this way, you'll understand why. So this is the first poem. And it's called Turn. Turn over a new leaf. Turn a corner. Turn on a sixpence. On a knife edge. On a precipice. On a cliff edge. No return. It's not a particularly cheery poem, I know, but it is something that I wrote when I wasn't feeling so stable. I always ask what the word stable means to you. And when I was thinking about the word stable, the picture that comes to mind is the stable in the Christmas story that we talk about. We say that Jesus was often born in a stable, and a stable is a place where animals eat. And I thought that's a bit tenuous. I can't really talk about that. But actually, it's called a stable for a reason. It was a place where animals knew that they could go and feed. It was a building that was something that they could rely on. And actually, I think that is about the word stable. This is actually the fifth time that I've tried to record this episode this morning. I was getting all tongue-tied and mixed up over whether stable was a noun or a verb or an adjective. And actually, it's a noun and an adjective because we can be stable or unstable. I wonder how being stable feels for you. I remember years ago, I think probably at the beginning of my long COVID journey, looking out into the garden and there was a pigeon and they were sitting there and they seemed very stable and just getting on with life as pigeons do. I don't know what they do, but there they are doing whatever they're doing. And suddenly it started to become very windy. And the tree was really, really blowing around. But the pigeon just stayed completely still. It didn't flap around, it didn't flap off, it didn't seem to become concerned. It just stayed there still as the wind blew. It felt extremely stable. When we think of the word stable, I also think of the word regulate. Regulate is a word that's becoming more and more a part of our society and our understanding. It's often used to talk about neurodivergence, that regulation that helps our nervous systems to feel calm and safe. And I'm realising just how much I need to regulate in order to manage my conditions that I have now. I wonder how you regulate, what makes you feel stable. I mentioned that I did this podcast 5 times so far this morning, but it wasn't until I sat down, put my hands out and asked God to take over the episode that it's come together. That is a lot of where my stability is. Going back to God and asking him to take control. He is my rock. He's what makes me feel stable. What makes you feel stable? What helps you to feel in control? Can you find some of that today? If you don't know what makes you feel stable, maybe you can have a think about it, because there will be things that you do without thinking about it, which make you feel more stable, which help you to feel regulated. It might be music. It might be talking to a friend. It might be going to a church or a place of worship. It might be getting out in nature, but all those things help us to become more stable. Instability is a scary place. Being wobbly can actually feel really dangerous and scary. We talked last week about the word doubt, and doubt can be very oppressive. It can be a really, really heavy force, and stability can be extremely powerful. That feeling of being grounded, that means that you can then move forward. My challenge for you today is to find out what makes you feel stable. Maybe just one or two things, and write them down somewhere. Have them in your phone, somewhere where you need them, somewhere where you can go back to them day after day, hour after hour if you need to have that feeling of stability so that you can then start to move forward again. I said I'm going to finish with a poem, and it's by a lady called Joy Beckett Brown. And it's a beautiful poem about a bridge near where she lives. And ordinarily I'd give it some context, but actually it's told beautifully within the poem. And it's called "The Bridge is Still There." I used to stand upon the stair and meet the morning light. The Humber Bridge stretched proud and clear, a breathtaking soaring sight. I wondered then if time would steal the wonder from my gaze, if awe would fade and become dulled by ordinary days. But wonder stayed, the bridge remained as glorious as before, yet slowly, almost silently, I looked for it no more. Not because the bridge had gone, or lest its strength and grace, but leaves had gathered on the trees and filled the empty space. Branch by branch and leaf by leaf, the view was veiled from sight, until the span that stirred my soul was hidden from the light. The bridge stood firm beyond the green, unchanged by what had grown, while I forgot to seek the view I once had dearly known. Isn't life so often thus? The things that matter most can be obscured by daily cares, though they are never lost. Hope and joy and gratitude, faith, friendship and peace can disappear behind the leaves, while worries still increase. Yet still they stand beyond the trees, unmoved by passing weather, waiting for us to lift our eyes and find them there as ever. For sometimes what we think we've lost has simply slipped from view. The bridge is there, the wonder too, waiting to welcome you. I think this is a perfect way to end the episode today. Remember to find what makes you stable. It's probably been there all along. Thanks for having a cuppa with me. Let's have a cuppa again soon. If you enjoy listening to the Raise podcast and you'd like to help us to keep going, then you can buy us a coffee. Go to www.buymeacoffee.com/Carol Barwick. And if you'd like to advertise, then for just £35 a month, we can help your message to get out to all our listeners. Get in touch for more details.